Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John Gray. Welcome to our post-Easter living show.
Good morning. I'm Peggy Burton.
And I'm Jim Fuller.
I had to think for a minute.
Did the bunny come see you?
The bunny came with many tulips and good wishes.
What do you mean she was the bunny?
She is the bunny.
Yeah, that's right.
No, it was a nice day. Had a
It
really
was.
nice day.
It was. Where'd you
We
end
went
up?
to Bell Buckle Banquet Hall where they had a feast to die for. I mean, I've never seen
Oh,
so
yeah.
much
They can
beautiful
do it
food
down there.
and good food. They did a great job. Thank you, Bell Buckle.
Absolutely can do that. Greg Heineke and that bunch down there,
They
they
are
are something
awesome.
else.
Yeah,
great job.
They're quite well known in this area
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that.
I heard
yeah.
somewhere through the grape, I think they do catering now, maybe, possibly.
They've always done that.
Have they always done
Yeah,
that?
they've
Okay.
done that out of that banquet hall for the last 15 years, I guess.
Well, they're so organized that, you know, they had people coming all during the day, and we made our reservations kind of early, but there was never a gridlock of things. You know, everything moved smoothly. I think that's
Yeah, well, see,
impressive.
they have and plus they have a full-scale commercial kitchen in the banquet hall. Plus, they've got the kitchen up there at the
Right.
Bell Buckle Cafe. So, and they have two completely different staffs that they use. And you know, they cook as far as barbecue and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. I won't give any names because there's other people out there who have in the barbecue business that tout how good their barbecue is, and a lot of it's cooked in Bell Buckle, taken to different locations.
Yeah,
So
sure.
they have a great business down there.
They do. They're good
And they're
people.
good people, and they're hard-working people, and I mean, here we are giving Bell Buckle Cafe a
Free commercial.
free commercial, but they've done a lot of things for
Greg,
us
we're
throughout
sending you a
the
bill.
years.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, but they also have Tory Taft now is a partner, and Greg owns 3 or 4 buildings, 5 buildings down there. But they've got where
They have absolutely put Bell Buckle on the map.
the Southern Charm or whatever that
Yes.
is. They have a tea room in there that functions every day. They have tea in the afternoon and crumpets and
I
cakes
know.
and stuff.
Ann
so,
Baldwin and Rosie and Janet and then our little group went to tea there one day.
Yeah.
And it was really cute.
Doesn't
Yeah.
the Celtic Cup do that as well?
I think they
yes,
do.
yes,
yeah.
they do.
They
And
just-
speaking of
Speaking
that,
of, this weekend is the festival.
piping on the green at the Celtic Cup all day long.
All day long, rain or shine.
Rain or shine, and I'm sorry to say that if you look at the weather, it's not going to rain, but it's probably going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool that
My,
day.
my,
so.
my students always sing at 9 o'clock, and dragging them out of bed is a good thing to do.
On a
They're
Saturday
sweet
morning.
kids, yeah. They do a good job. I'm
Yes,
proud
they
of them.
do. The Tullahoma Acapella Singers.
They've been, you know, I've been doing that for such a long time, and every year they're different, and, well, not all of them, but, you know, there's new people, and trying to
That-
train them. They're really good kids.
That has to be a challenge to get them up that early in the morning.
No, they're good kids. They get up. But back in the day, I had students that would come to my house at 7 o'clock in the morning and practice every day of the week
No kidding.
when they were getting ready for something.
Yeah.
And that's kind of hard to ask anymore.
My daughter was telling me that I guess all of the kids were involved in some sort of presentation for Easter at the church. It must have been maybe the Presbyterian church. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
But she was saying that it was started at 8, and she had to get everybody up at 5 to make sure she got everybody lined up and dressed and ready
That's
to go.
what it takes. You know, you got to move. Some people can do that. Other people, it's really hard.
Well, they're all young. They hadn't done anything to make them not want to get up. They're young, full of energy.
That's true.
It's easy to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning
But
when you're
I'm
12,
just
13 years
not a
old.
morning person still, and I guess it's from the 30 years I spent
Well, yeah.
in an atmosphere where you.
Well, I
didn't
grew up where you got up at whatever time it took, 4 o'clock or 5 or whatever, milked 15 cows, took a bath, jumped in the bus, drove an hour to school, and I survived.
Yeah, no, and it depends because, like Jimmy said, when you're in the business that we were in for a long time and you're going to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning, it's different. But then
Yeah.
I went through a period where I was going to Nashville and up in that area every day, and I'd get up at 4 o'clock in the morning because if you didn't leave Tullahoma by 5:15, you didn't get where you needed to be by 7 o'clock in
That's
Nashville
true.
because the closer you got, the more,
Oh, yeah.
you know, 15 minutes could cost you an hour.
Yeah. I had a nice surprise this week.
What was that?
I had a really nice surprise. It was it was Monday night because this is Tuesday.
This is
no, it
Tuesday.
was last
Last night?
week. It was last week, just
Okay.
before Easter. I was out somewhere and got home about 9, and it was about 9:30, and I was thinking about just going to bed early, and I got this phone call from my son, and he said, "Mom, where are you?" I said, "Well, I'm at home. Where are you?" He says, "Well, I'm about 5 minutes from home," and I said, "Great, be careful. Thanks for calling." The next thing I knew, he was knocking on my door.
You thought he was going to his
I
home.
thought he was going to his home,
Yeah.
but he had a job in Huntsville for a couple of days, and he was going to surprise me. And luckily, I didn't take the shotgun and blow his head off. But anyway, it was a nice surprise.
Good.
He visited for 2 hours, jumped in the car, went to Nashville, and caught a plane. Anyway, that was nice. So yes, I had a really nice special week.
What an Easter
Yeah,
present. That was
absolutely.
the Easter Bunny brought you the best basket you could ever get.
Yeah, I did. It's
Do you-
nice when he can come
so
through.
you actually have a shotgun handy.
Yeah, you better believe it.
Okay.
Shoot, Peggy's a farm girl living in the country. I guarantee you she's got a
Yeah,
shotgun.
we've talked about that many times, but my grandmother would bring hers out in a second.
My
And
husband
you had
used to
use
say,
it.
if you can't stop somebody with a shotgun, then you ought to be shot.
Yeah, you ought to lose that battle.
Yeah. Anyway,
You were telling us about the comedy channel you were getting
Oh,
on your
stop
phone. On your phone, that was
there's some
kind of.
stuff that I cannot repeat. I mean, I just don't know where it came from. Just all of a sudden, I've got all this great comedy channel going on.
Yeah.
Comedians I have never heard of.
Oh, I can imagine. There's a bunch of
On
them
your
out there.
phone.
No, it's on my
Car.
in my car.
Yeah. Okay.
It's in my car.
Yeah.
Somehow.
So you must have pushed a button you didn't know you
I
pushed.
didn't know because I always am listening to jazz and blues and all that, and then and that's so peaceful for me. And then boom, here I've got the comedy channel. So I came in the door laughing.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
You know, I was sitting in my office one night and got that devil scared out of me because I was by myself, and Pam had put something on my phone where it reads you. It's called Audible, I think, and it reads you books. And when I went to Florida last year, she put a couple of books on my phone.
Yeah.
I had never listened to them, and I
It's all of a
forgot. And I don't know how I turned them on, but I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden,
You got a book coming in your ear.
Somebody's talking to you.
somebody's talking to me. That also happens to.
Did you reach for your gun?
No, I don't know where it is, but that also happens. I forget, what do you call these things that like sit on a desk and you can ask them questions?
Siri or Lexi
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah, there's one of those up there. Nobody ever uses it. And it's the strangest thing. Pam can ask this Lexi or whatever it is something. It will not respond.
Well, how weird. Can you ask it?
But I ask it something and it answers me every time.
Alexa loves you. That's
You know,
what
and
it is.
I'm not sure what it is. But again, one night I was sitting up there kind of late, and I'm by myself, only one in the office, and this thing starts talking about something.
And it
Must
scared
have
the
heard.
living daylights out of you.
Absolutely scared the living daylights out of me. I mean, it takes you in a situation like
Yeah.
that. It might take you 30 seconds to realize what's going on here.
know.
You know.
Well, when I was traveling for Eddie Bauer and I was out west, I had one of those things in my car that tells you where
Yeah.
you're supposed to go and all of that. And so I was by myself for a month.
I remember that.
So she and I had a relationship.
Yeah.
And somebody must have programmed into that car that they didn't want to do, whoever was using that before me, they didn't want to pay a toll. And so all of a sudden I'd be driving down a perfectly good road and she'd say, take the next left or so, and within 5 minutes I'd be on a gravel road with goats in front of me.
Oh my God.
And I'd cuss her. What in the are you doing to me? How did you get me out here? She'd say, read, whatever, what do they say?
Recalculate.
Recalculate. I
yeah.
don't care what you're doing. I'm not listening to you anymore. You blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blank diddy blank diddy blank diddy blank.
That is kind of weird,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
To
was
be
on a
a-
good. I
to
was
be
on a
able
good
to
road.
program that in.
Yeah, I was on a good road. The next thing I knew, there were two men with sticks, and I was in the middle of a herd of goats. And I could look up there and see people going 70 miles an hour,
Yeah.
and she had me down here in a mud hole. No, we're not doing that anymore.
Goats, but it'd be
The
fun.
goats were
Yeah,
out,
the
baby.
goats were out. You have to be careful not let
Got to
the
be
goats
careful
out.
with the goats. Before we go, a thought. And this is about a thought about a thought.
Okay.
The weight of a thought is not determined by the number or elegance of the words used to convey it. The result of a battle does not depend upon the amount and velocity of the strikes, but the timing and precision of their delivery. Always strive to be perfect.
Yeah.
That's
good.
good.
One. That's a good one.
That's
You
interesting.
can't get there, and there's a movie called, and that came, I wrote that because of a movie called Friday Night Lights with Billy Bob Thornton,
Yeah,
and
that
he's
was
the
a good
coach,
movie.
and he talks to them throughout that whole movie about being perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end, he explains what perfect is, and perfect is not the fact that you're ever going to reach perfection, but you do all you can.
You keep
Yeah.
striving
You,
for
you, you,
perfection.
you,
Yeah.
you sacrifice and give all you can give to achieve whatever your goal is with love in your heart, and then you're perfect because you left
'Cause
nothing behind.
You've done the best that you
Done
could
the best
do.
that you can do. So I'm going to be perfect right now and get out of here, watch this short commercial break, and we'll be back.
Russell's got your truck, man. Russell's got your truck.
Big, bigger, and even bigger. Russell Barnett has any size truck for any size need. Chevrolet, Ford, GMC, Ram. Check us out on the web at russellbarnett.com. Our selection is so huge, we may need our own zip code. So my question is, why buy your next truck anywhere else?
With the best selection anywhere, Russell's got your truck, man.
All I have to do to think about what I was physically before and what I am now, and I don't ever want to go back to that original situation.
The overall mission of the rehab team is always what is best for the patient and how we can facilitate maximum potential from every resident.
Well, the most important thing to me is that I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do, you know.
Everyday Miracles, Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Hi, I'm Mark Allen, candidate for Coffee County Mayor. I am a husband, father, and public servant, and not a politician. I have been a government auditor, finance director, and small business owner for over 35 years, and I know numbers. I've seen the numbers for Coffee County, and I see a mess without vision or direction for the future. We have a high debt of $84 million with infrastructure wearing out before it's paid for. County employees not being paid a livable wage, and one of the highest property taxes in the state. What are we getting for our money? It's mismanagement at best. We need real change. The status quo is unacceptable. Vote Mark Allen on May 1st in the Coffee County Republican primary, and let's hold Coffee County accountable again. To the citizens of Tullahoma, Coffee County is your county. Get out and vote. No matter who you vote for, show the politicians it's your county too.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
I'm happy to have a young man who was with us about a year ago come back, Chris Petrangelo, and he is here with his band Finger Trick. And Chris, welcome back again. Memphis man.
It's great to be back.
And how are things going since the last time you've been here?
Things are good. Just been playing and recording a whole bunch. This is my band Finger Tricks, my brother Patrick, and our drummer Alessio. You guys can say hello.
Hello.
Hey guys.
Hello.
So Patrick must be a bass player.
Patrick is the bass player.
He has that bass player look about him.
You talking about the sunglasses?
I try.
Sunglasses.
I try very hard to fit into my role.
Fit into his role. Like the jacket too. Good color.
Thanks. Thank you.
And where you live in Memphis as well?
Yes.
And what about you, young man?
Well, I'm a drummer, and I actually live a little bit outside of Memphis, but not too far. And nothing. I mean, I'm just Italian man moved.
Beat the box, huh?
Yeah, beat the box.
There you go.
Like it's like my first day.
There you go. That's great. So, say you've been doing a bunch of writing and recording. And
Yes. We actually have our second full-length album coming out in June.
Very well, and that's going to happen.
June 16th.
And that's going to happen where?
Lafayette's Music Room in Memphis.
And that's sort of a famous place, isn't it?
That's what they tell me. They tell me Billy Joel has played there before, so that's pretty exciting.
That's good. Maybe he's still resounding in the walls in there somewhere. Maybe you can glean a little bit out. They say Carnegie Hall's like that. If you listen real close, you can hear some of the music from the past masters
that's what I've
who've been
heard
there. So, well, good for you. Did you write most of the songs on this project?
Yes, me and Patrick wrote all the songs.
Good. What kind of genre, or how do you define what you do? Is there a catchword or a catchphrase that sort of sums up how your music sounds and what it's all about?
Well, it started off as pretty classic rock sounding when we put our first CD out, and then we kind of progressed to almost pop. We had a girl in the band for a while, Sarah Spain. She was a keyboard player. We were playing really mainstream stuff, and then we went back to a three-piece until where now it's almost like punk rock.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just kind of loud and aggressive music.
Loud and aggressive. Well, that's what people seem to like.
Yeah.
People seem to like. Speaking about likes, other than music, what do you like to do?
Nothing.
That's it.
Music.
And veg?
Sometimes.
You a gamer?
No.
Good for you. What about you?
Well, I like to restoring stuff, and then like I'm raising chickens with my family, and that's it.
So restoring things, is that in like automobiles, or is it woodwork?
No,
it's
about like woodwork, like drums, and it can be like even like furniture, like kind of like a hobby.
Okay. Yeah.
He's really the most interesting member of the band.
Well, and that's using your hands and you.
Yeah, I used to.
If you have good hands, you have good hands. You're all musicians, and so usually musicians have good hands, or they can't be musicians. And people with good hands can also translate that over into other skills like woodworking or trim carpentry or whatever. My brother is a good guitar player. He's a great pool shooter. Good hands. He has good hands. What's your side item other than French fries?
I really love to go fishing for largemouth bass.
Largemouth bass. Where do you fish over in that area over there?
I fish throughout. I mean, there's an extensive network of ponds throughout Collierville. I just go from one to the next, just fishing.
Good. Well, after we get through here, we'll have to have a discussion about bass fishing right here and around Tullahoma.
That would be great. That would be great.
Because there's some wonderful lakes here. Your album's going to drop when?
June 16th.
June 16th. Now, how can people find? Well, before we get to that, how can people find you around here?
Just on the internet.
What about? You're playing this weekend?
Oh, yes,
we're
playing at we're playing at 41 South Bar and Grill. Tomorrow night.
And you'll be doing that from time to time.
Yes, we come and play here every once in a while.
Yeah, well, that's great. So we can folks out here who enjoy what they hear today can get on your website and find out your schedule, where you're going to be, and what you're doing. Right.
Yes.
And then we're going to see if we can get you booked into Daddy Billy's. You play at London sometimes around here.
Yes.
So and we just want to keep up with you guys and let folks who enjoy listening to you know. There's nothing greater than to get in your car somewhere and not know what you're going to do and go take a little trip and listen to some music away. Spend a night in a hotel, have a mini vacation just to hear your finger trick.
Yeah.
Huh?
That sounds good to
Put
me.
a package together, can't we? We'll sell that, folks. Tell you what we're going to do right now. We're going to take a quick minute and get these men set up and ready to bring some music. Here we go.
Kay and Greg Gillum have added another touch of excellence to their furniture business. Now a newly stocked 20,000 square foot Badcock Home Furniture and More location in Tullahoma, Tennessee. Locally owned and operated and offering the same friendly professional service with the best prices on name brand products like their sister store in Winchester, Tennessee has for years. Visit the new Tullahoma location and shop name brand bedroom suites, electronic department with computers, tablets, 4K televisions, and accessories. A large complete appliance center to fit the style of any household. Beautiful selection of rugs that complement any person's taste. A variety of living room combinations all in one large showroom. That's right, Badcock Home Furniture and More has added a new location. 373 West Lincoln Street, Tullahoma, Tennessee. Offering special prices year-round. Financing is always available. Speedy delivery to your home or office. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Sunday, noon to 5 p.m. Call 931-222-4353.
Time to get fit, Tullahoma. Register today to run or walk the I Am For The Child Family 5K Run and Walk. You'll be proud to know you're supporting the court-appointed special advocates by running or walking Saturday, April 14th at Fraser McEwen Park at 8 a.m. Register at active.com for $25 or the day of the race starting at 6:30 a.m. or call 455-7426. Special thanks to these sponsors who make this event happen. CASA's I Am For The Child event is Saturday, April 14th. Register now and join in the fun at Fraser McEwen Park.
The Animal Shelter has served Tullahoma dogs for nearly 30 years. Now, you can help us build a bigger and better no-kill shelter. Your tax-deductible gift is matched dollar for dollar. So come on, bark it forward and donate now to have your tax-deductible gift matched. Make your check payable to the COT Shelter Building Fund and go to tullahomatn.gov to see all the unique gifts available for your generosity. For more details, you can call City Hall at 455-2648.
This is the hardest part of living. You were the heart inside my chest. I would die 10,000 times if I could have you again. But I can't bleed you home. Come back already. You can double down and watch me bleed, but you can't break me. No, you can't. Come back already. I'm a sucker for all the wrong things, but you can't take me. No, you can't take me. I tried to bury this the hard way. I pray to God you'll never know all the awful things I've done can't take my heart away. And I can't bleed you home. Come back already. You can double down and watch me bleed, but you can't break me. No, you can't. Come back already. I'm a sucker for all the wrong things, but you can't take me. You can't take me. Baby, baby, as the years go by, you don't know pride.
song, brand new song called Back Already. And this next song is called Requiem.
If only there was a way to conjure redemption and weaponize pain, it could save me. We'd have a prayer, but I walk down the streets and there's nobody there, 'cause it's 3 in the morning on Tuesday. And it's hard to say just when this became such an affair. And it rips me apart just to care. Oh, and everything melts away like the paper that's under your tongue and the words that I say when you're sleeping. But everyone knows you're so far away. So far it's been over a year since you saved me, and I drained my reward as she begged me for more, so demanding. We were never clean, we were young and obscene when we buried our dreams with the hatchet so long ago. So give it to me slow as you throw back another and cry. And you whisper, we've all gotta die. Won't you put on your best dress and bury my ashes tonight? Survive, oh my darling, when you bleed. Do you call for your doctor or roll up your sleeves and cut deeper, straight to the heart of things? It's unsettling when you finally see what you've done. Do you know what to do with that gun? Well, there's some things that can't be undone. After all, we're cast outs. Would I lie to you? Would you murder me just to go numb for forever? I never believed we could fall this far. And you throw back you should stay. I'll fight the world with you until my dying day. It's a long way down.
Thank you. This next song is another new one called December.
Wrap it up or you're gonna get burned. It's never been a problem, but it is your turn to be the grown up here. Let's be clear on this. Staring out of the bathroom window, trying to find a different point of view on all the terrible things that they put you through. You were so frustrated and a little bit overrated. I know one day you'll see it didn't need to be this hard. Bless your hearts. December, I can still remember the way you used to hold me close. Heaven knows I'm living with your ghost. I can't pretend like everything is alright all the time. 'Cause even though I know it's over now, I still get a little down each time December comes around. Take a chance on the brand new you. It'll never be the same without me. But what do? You keep on struggling through. You're better off with a better man. I've been saying it for years, but you never made a stand until tonight. Well, that's alright, my love. You were so frustrated and a little bit overrated. I know one day you'll see it didn't need to be this hard. Bless your heart. December, I can still remember the way you used to hold me close. Heaven knows I'm living with your ghost. I can't pretend like everything is alright all the time. 'Cause even though I know it's over now, I still get a little down each time December comes around. December, I can still remember the way you used to hold me close. Heaven knows I'm living with your ghost. I can't pretend like everything is alright all the time. 'Cause even though I know it's over now, I still get a little down. I still get a little down each time December comes around.
the time, maybe you were just building a bridge, a business, or a community. Maybe you were simply working for a home or a better tomorrow. At the time, you served out of duty and love of country. But in that time, we see a legacy created, an American dream lived. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
There's no place like home.
Getting home safely is just a click away, and choosing the right seat for your little one's age and size will take you down the road to safer travels.
How can I ever thank you enough?
Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jerry Harris. I've been providing communication services throughout the United States since 1985. But instead of me telling you about the services I provide, I'll let some of my clients speak for me.
This is Philip Barnett of the Russell Barnett Automotive family. We have 5 new car dealerships. Jerry Harris has handled our telephones for many years. Just recently, he came to us with a new program with Host My Calls. They not only saved us money, but the service is out of sight. I highly recommend Jerry and the Host My Calls team for any of your telephone needs.
Host My Calls is by far the best service I have ever placed with any of my clients. It provides cost-saving solutions while providing great communications. Call me today, 931-581-4411. See how Host My Calls can save you.
I'm meteorologist Leland Statham from the News Channel 5 Weather Center. Look to Jim Fuller and crew for local news night here on Channel 6.
I know you're going to be glad you stayed for this segment. I have with me Lisa Maurer. Hi, Lisa.
Hello, Ms.
I'm so
Peggy.
glad you came and skipped school for a minute.
Yes.
Lisa's here to talk a little bit about the Pied Piper event we're having at South Jackson Civic Center on the 15th, Sunday afternoon, 2:30. I've got that out there. Okay. Tell me a little bit about the group.
Well, the group is made up of my friends, fellow musicians. They are all professional musicians, have been playing their entire lives, studied music. They play in symphonies. They've played chamber music their entire lives. They've studied with famous quartets. So they just
How
love
lucky
music.
we are that they decided that they didn't mind coming and playing
No,
for
they
us.
jumped at the chance.
I'm
We
thrilled
love chamber music. We want to play. We're on board.
I feel like
so.
I'm not a great musician, but I got a good eye for talent.
Yes.
And your group is awesome.
Thank you.
I was interested in what sort of things you were going to play during the concert.
Well, we're labeling this concert String Quartet 101 because many people have never heard a string quartet or know what a string quartet consists of. 2 violins, a viola, and a cello. And so we're going to play highlights from the great string quartet composers.
Wonderful.
Haydn, we're going to play a movement from his famous Lark Quartet. Mozart, who was friends with Haydn, we're going to play a movement from his Dissonant Quartet and his famous Eine kleine Nachtmusik.
Everybody
And
loved
then
that.
Beethoven, who was friends with Mozart and Haydn and studied with Haydn, a scherzo. Now, Beethoven was kind of a rebel and very ahead of his time. Well, the
Political,
third,
actually.
political,
Very
yes.
political.
So the third movement of a string quartet is usually a minuet and trio. Well, Beethoven's like, I'm changing that. So he changed the minuet and trio to a scherzo. Scherzo meaning joke.
Which is usually upbeat and fun.
Right,
and
fun, you can dance to it. Well, you can't really dance to it. But so we're going to do a scherzo, one of his scherzos, which is a really sweet piece. Not at all heavy and deep like his Symphony No. 5 in C minor, a lot of his. But it is in C major. So some Beethoven, and then some light music that you've probably heard on the radio. Highlights from The Sound of Music, Unchained Melody, Palladio. So we're just going to have fun, and we're looking forward to it.
It sounds like a great concert. So, in other words, there won't be like a sonata where you have all the different segments.
Right.
It'll be
little
parts,
snippets, yeah,
little
to kind of whet your appetite for string quartet music.
And for those of you that don't know what 101 is, it's kind of a learning thing. It's like an introduction to, right?
String quartet for.
I love it. I love it. And I love that you said you would do it. On the 15th at 2:30, tickets will be available at the door. You can call and get a reservation if you like, but it's 2:30 in the afternoon. I would say come about 2:15 or so, whatever. Make sure you get in on time, because we will start on time, right?
That's right. That's right.
I like to start on time. I've always wanted to cater to those people that took the time to get dressed and get to an event on time. So that's why I like to start on time.
That's right. Well, you know the music mantra: early is on time is late, and late is bad. So,
Exactly.
hey, we're going to go with that.
And ticket price is
$10.
$10, which is really not enough for such an event, but it's about an hour. Is that correct?
Yes, no more than an hour.
No more than an hour.
A little. We'll have a little talking in between to tell you what to listen for, what you're going to hear.
I like that, because I think that people do need to be educated. So many people are not listening to classical music now, and there's such wonderful music out there. It's peaceful. Sometimes it's not so peaceful.
Right? Yeah. Why did they write it? Who did they write it for? What inspired them? You know, the German poet Heinrich Goethe said that a string quartet is a rational conversation between four people.
I like that.
So when you go to an orchestra concert, you see a conductor up there. You will not see a conductor,
Right.
because there's one on a part. That's what's so great about chamber music. One on a part, so if you crash and burn, it's your fault.
It's your
you know,
fault.
and you don't have a
Nobody to
conductor,
blame.
so you're conversing with the members of the group, you know, with signals. You're not saying a word, but you're having a conversation. You're going back and forth with the music. You know, and when you practice with different people, you have an idea of what you think it should be, and then they go, well, let's try this.
Let's try this.
And
So
it
every-
opens your
you get
mind a
to
whole new way.
share
Yeah, and
your
you're like, wow,
ideas.
that's great. Yeah.
And
so
for those of
we
you
make
that,
it ours.
For those of you that don't know Lisa, she plays piano, she plays violin, viola, cello, what else?
The radio? No.
The radio.
No.
And you're teaching music out at Montlow.
Yes.
How lucky they are to have you.
Oh, thank you.
I felt so blessed when they put you in the program out there.
Oh, thank
Because you're
you.
working with David Bethea, and there's a lot of fine things happening at Montlow. Just wanted to give them a little plug. There's our phone number, our website. I'm not sure somebody's working the office every day of the week now, because we're looking for a new office manager. So make sure you show up in time to get a ticket and get in on Sunday afternoon, the 15th. And I'm excited about it.
We are too.
And I can't tell you how much I appreciate all the hard work. It's not just something you sit down and do.
No,
People
we've
think
been working
because
on
you're a
this
great
for-
musician,
yeah.
you just automatically pick up the music and sit down and play it. But you work together until everybody gets coordinated in the field for the concert. So I hope you're going to do it again. By the way, Lisa also helps with the Young Artist Showcase we do with young people, young high school students in the fall. And I think we've made a lot of progress with that. So. Any last words you want to give to the world?
Well, I was listening to the segment before that John was saying, strive to be perfect. So
Don't you
we
love
are
that?
striving to put on our best performance, and we invite you all to come and enjoy the music and the composers who wrote it.
Well, Lisa, what can I say?
Oh,
I
thank you,
just have
Miss
to tell you
Payne.
I love you, and I love what you do and what you represent. We'll be back with more.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, no, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Hello, everyone. I'm John Rickman.
And this is Pat Welch and John Weir here today for the 79th segment of Conversation with John and Pat.
Pat, occasionally when we do these, you know, we'll do a span of maybe 4, 5, 6 of them in a row. And on 78, there was a question who wrote the song that I sang last time. It was Woody Guthrie.
Okay.
And Woody Guthrie also wrote the one I'm going to do here. You got to walk that lonesome valley. You got to walk it by yourself. Nobody else can walk it for you. You got to walk it by yourself. Jesus walked that lonesome valley. He had to walk it by himself. Nobody else could walk it for him. He had to walk it by himself. You've got to walk that lonesome valley. You've got to walk it by yourself. Nobody else can walk it for you. You've got to walk it by yourself. You know, Woody Guthrie, just thinking back, I didn't even get one applaud then. Normally, we have somebody out there who will do.
I think management was spellbound by that, John.
It could be.
Yeah.
But Woody Guthrie, if anyone would study his lyrics, those are folk songs. He did This Land Is Your Land, and then Going Down That Road Feeling Bad. That's the one we did last segment.
Is it Bob Seger that we've mentioned before? He was a real big folk singer at the time. And
Woody Guthrie had a son, Arno Guthrie, who did songs similar to his dad. I'm not sure if he wrote them. I don't know much about Arno, but Woody Guthrie is something, really something.
Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting. We got an impossible segue for that today, John.
We'll just do it.
Yeah, we'll just jump right in. A couple of weeks ago, I went out and visited Coach W.C. Dub Cooper. I like to go by there every 2 or 3 months, and he and his wife Betty, not in great health, but their minds are really stout. And if you remember, Coach Cooper coached high school football in Tullahoma from 56 through 66, and then was principal at West for many years, and Betty worked in the administration building. But I found, Philip, put up that 1948 UT. This was the program from the Tennessee-Alabama game in 1948 in October. Was played in Knoxville, and Kyle Bill's a good friend, able to get that program for me, and I took it over there because Coach Cooper played in that game, and he was General Neyland's player of the week and against Alabama. And as he looked through the roster, he could tell a story or identify just about every person in there and who he'd talked to. In fact, I don't think that was one, but in that whole roster wasn't but one other player still alive. But he mentioned one. He said, "There's one. I don't know if I've told you this before. That boy's from Tullahoma," and his name was Tom Brixey. And when I went home and looked him up a little bit, I found one really interesting story, and then next segment, number 80, will come back and I'll cover Mr. Bixby in a little bit more in depth. But I found out that the class of 1953, which would be that senior year, the football season, of course, had been 52. Coach McClure had come from, Creed McClure had come from McMinnville and was hired as the football coach. And he ended up in 55 having a great team that was undefeated that Frank Mullins was a big part of. But anyway, coming from McMinnville, they played McMinnville that year on a Friday night, and of course that was a big game to Mr. McClure. And but Chevyville and Sparta were going to play in Chevyville for some reason on Thursday night, and Mr. McClure got wind that some of the players had found that out, and he was afraid they were going to go over there and watch some of that game, and he wanted them in bed, royal rested for the Friday night game, for their game. And he put down a stern warning there all where nobody was going to that ball game. Well, we had three colorful figures from Tullahoma's history. Eric Soulsby, who is still with us, and he played at Vanderbilt, I believe, in the 1955 Gator Bowl team. T. Motlow and Billy Joe Finney. They all snuck off, drove over to Chevyville on Thursday night, and supposedly wore, according to the report I got, they wore long coats and had big hats on and tried to cover up where nobody could find them and sat on the Sparta side. Well, Tom Bixby, Coach Cooper's friend and player, fellow teammate at UT, he was coaching for Sparta and recognized who they were, and he and Coach McClure, Mr. McClure, were really good friends, and so he called him that week and said, you had three players over here, or called him at night, Thursday night, you had three players over here at Chevyville tonight, and he said, oh. So, of course, he did a little investigating, and he suspended them and threw them off the team for that, at least for that game, and wouldn't let them sit on the bench. And they were behind by 6 points at halftime, and supposedly the crowd was egging the three players on, and they went to the fence and got in a discussion with Mr. McClure that was supposed to have been negotiations for what it would take to come back, and they agreed on 100 laps after following practice the next week. Well, that would have been 25 miles, and I'm having a hard time believing that those boys ran 25 miles after practice during that week. But anyway, he did let them come back. And
they weren't built for cross-country, were they?
No, they weren't cross-country, especially T wouldn't have been a cross-country runner. And so they ended up coming back and went to the gym from Old Wade Field, you know, it was where you would have coached basketball. They went up there and got the equipment on, came back, and Tullahoma won 19-13, and it was ended up being a great story from a group that loved to tell stories, and T was T. Motlow was some kind of storyteller, and they had a reunion not long ago in 2013, I believe it was, and supposedly the biggest story was that there was a gentleman in that class, Robert Owens, who I think was related to the Owens family that owned Crescent Box. And he became a naval admiral. And when he first got into the service, he was a fighter pilot and supposedly flew over T's farm in Moore County upside down and said he grinned at him. He was so low that he grinned at him. And T claimed that that there was not a hen that laid eggs or a cow that gave any milk for 2 weeks after they were buzzed by Admiral Owens. And supposedly in the account I read, Admiral Owens admitted that he flew the plane over the farm, but the rest of the story he said was embellished.
Oh,
Johnny, have you got any questions or follow-ups on any of that?
Embellishing is something we might do from time to time, but we don't expect it from other folks.
Might.
Oh, by the way, just to end this up, you know, we've talked about the great migration from Chapel Hill to Tullahoma. Kathy Orr, she was a Hill, Joe Orr's wife. Kathy a good girl from Chapel Hill, and then also the Hargroves. Margaret and, here I am embarrassed, but Mr. Hargrove from over there, they go to Highland Baptist Church over there. And Arthur Hargrove. Thank you. Thank you. And, but good folks.
Well, John, we may have a little bit of time. Let me work one more Motlow story in there. T's brother, Doug, was another colorful figure that had, there's plenty of stories. And these, if they were embellished by Doug because he told me to my face these two stories. And we have to understand that football in the 40s was not as tightly regulated as far as age and so forth as it is now. And Doug told me that he played 4 high school games in a week. He played for Tullahoma, Lynchburg, Castle Heights, and another one. And I can't remember.
Morgan.
You may be right. But I asked him about how that was legally able to go, and he said, well, the Castle Heights played in a prep school league, military league, and so he used his real name playing for Tullahoma and playing for Castle Heights, but he used an alias for the other 2 games. And he said, now, well, he said, at the end of that 4th game, he said, I'm a little sore. Which I can imagine after that 4th game, man, be a little bit sore. And we'll close with this last part as far as age is concerned. Doug finished high school at 21, and he said he can remember one of his favorite stories was that he went to the principal's office, and he and the principal and the director of schools, Mr. Lee, all went to vote for Roosevelt at the same time when the voting age was 21.
Great story.
Isn't that a good story? So we'll wrap up segment 79, and but that's not. We hope that's not the last segment because we've got a lot of stories. The Motlows are full of stories.
Yes, sir.
Thank y'all.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat. Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the paint. Uh-oh. I just knocked a tree over. This is the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now, you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel at the paint works where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You know, you can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good because you work hard for them and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat, you know? They do. Honeydew is what they do. And you get to do it too. So you go to the Paintworks at 1960 North Washington Street and you see David Heikkinen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fix you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paintworks today. Martin Senor. See? Martin Senor. Right there. Martin Senor at the Paintworks. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Heaven Can Wait. Right here in person, I have Cynthia Redicott, and I have Will Prater, the director of Heaven Can Wait. And you're doing the set.
I'm doing the set, and I'm also one of the leading ladies in the show.
Oh, cool. Tell me about it.
Go ahead. Oh, okay. I play Mrs. Farnsworth. I am married to, of course, Mr. Farnsworth, but Joe Pendleton, who was taken too early, comes back in his body, and we go from there. We don't want to give it all away, so
And that's why it says, come watch the fight of the century.
Correct.
Joe Pendleton versus the world.
Yes.
Will, why did you decide to direct this?
We were talking about various plays that we could do at South Jackson, and we wanted to make sure that we picked something that wasn't of the traditional kind of, you see all the various companies in this area do it. So we started spitting out different ideas, and I had done Heaven Can Wait back in high school, and I remembered, 20-something years ago doing it in high school and loving it. So I just suggested it, and then they said, "Are you willing to direct it?" And I said, "Sure.
I can do it."
So
how many's in the cast?
we have a total of 16 in the cast, and then we've got 12 extras.
Yeah, 12
so,
really?
Yes,
ma'am. Yes.
That's a good thing to do.
Oh, yeah.
Because it gives other people a chance to, that might be a little nervous, to get up on the stage and see how simple it is, because it's not real life.
Right.
Right. Although sometimes it does kind of give an example of real life. Well, we ought to tell when it is, and we ought to get the website up. It's, you tell me the days.
It's April 19th, 20th, 21st, and 22nd at South Jackson
So
Civic
it starts
Center.
on Thursday.
Correct. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday's performances are at 7, and the Sunday performance is at 2:30.
2:30. And the price for tickets are?
It's 13
Wait, is it
for
on this?
students and 15 general admission.
And you can call that number and leave your phone number, or you can go on southjackson.org and get your tickets online, which is the simplest thing to do because you can just walk in when you get to the theater, and we don't have that big lineup to wait
Correct.
for. You excited?
Yes, very excited.
And is the set real big, or is it a lot of work?
It was rather lavish. We had, at one point, we had 20 some odd people working on it because we wanted to make it rich and beautiful, and Miss Farnsworth lives there, so it has to be
It's a very classy
yeah, it has to be a
mansion.
certain standard.
What's the period?
It's set in 1938.
1938.
So we're going to have 1938 music
costumes
and
and everything like
Let
that.
me tell you, this
easy
one
to
here,
find.
gorgeous in all of her dresses.
Wonderful.
So,
And we were very blessed. We had Amanda Monroe, who actually plays Bet, who is stealing my husband. She had one of her students come up from the Coffee County High School
who brought her own team.
Yes, brought her own team and has painted this amazing mural on the back wall.
How wonderful.
Yes, it is gorgeous.
I think it's important people understand that when you do theater, it's not just about acting, it's about producing, it's about being backstage and hammering and nailing and painting and all that kind of stuff, making costumes. There's so many things that you can do with the theater. So think about volunteering, coming on in.
I mean, honestly, we wouldn't have been able to do everything that we've done without Susan Ripke as our stage manager and Addison Womack as our assistant director, and our producers, Colleen Sanders and Catherine Hopkins and Melissa Sharan. Without these 5 individuals, I can honestly say that nothing would have gotten done as smoothly as it has.
It takes a team.
Yes, it does.
It's like raising a
Absolutely.
child. It takes a village.
Absolutely.
And it takes all the people.
And then we have to mention our star.
Oh, yes. Curtis Heiss is actually playing
Yes.
Joe Pendleton.
I was thrilled to death to see Curtis doing that.
Yes.
This is his first straight play, and he was really nervous about getting involved in it, and I kind of had to talk him into taking the lead role, but he has killed it consistently
He's
in
brilliant.
rehearsal.
Yes.
And
He's brilliant.
My only regret is that we haven't had a chance to find a way to get him singing in the show.
Yeah, Yeah, because it's a great
because he has
voice.
that voice of an angel.
Well, I thought when he
so-
did that small part in 1776, he was spectacular
Absolutely.
on stage. And he started out in South Jackson Goes Country.
I know.
That was when
and he talks about it all the time.
Yeah.
So.
And there's some newbies. We have Deuce Anderson, who is also a teacher at Coffee County High
good.
School, and there's some familiar faces. Bridget Stewart is in it.
Oh my gosh, her as Jordan. We actually decided to cast Jordan as a female.
Yeah.
And Bridget came in and stole the audition. She was spectacular. And then we have Luke Sanders, who we've seen, or I'm sorry, Luke Yates. In a number of smaller roles. He's got a big shining star, and Savannah Hunter
Oh, wait, you
as
have a super cast.
Yes, they're all rock
That's
stars.
what impresses me, is that I think that we're reaching a level where people want to be on the South Jackson stage.
Yes.
And seeing all those new faces mixed in with all these people that have become veterans.
Are we going to be
too.
able to use the front door?
Yeah.
We
well, I
are
don't
very
know.
hopeful. The rails we saw the rails go up, and they've been out there paving, so we are very hopeful.
And the parking lot looks gorgeous.
It is.
so.
It's going to be really nice.
That
And,
has been a great project. The Light Up South Jackson has been
It's
wonderful
been a huge
for that.
And it helps to have construction right outside while we're doing construction inside.
They're going to
So-
run us off, so let's real quickly reiterate the date. Starts on the
April the 19th through the 22nd.
Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night at 7 o'clock, Sunday afternoon at 2:30 p.m.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Cynthia and Will, thank you for coming.
Oh, thanks for
We'll be
having
back
us.
with
We
who knows
appreciate
what.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department needs you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street. Heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and I'm kind of enjoy this because I always like it when one of our local politicians comes to be with us, and particularly this one right over here, Miss Robin Dunn. And I heard you say something. I love your hair. You said you don't control it, you just live under it.
Oh, yeah, that's all I do. I don't. Yeah, that's exactly
I
right.
think that's a cool thing. That's a cool thing. You're here to talk about Earth Day.
Yes, I am. I'm very excited. This is an event that's really coming to life. So we've got a band. We've got the Carl Johnson Rock Creek Bluegrass Band.
I know that bunch.
Oh, so you know how fantastic they are.
Yeah.
They're just a tight group, and they're they're good. It's going to be fun.
Well, those guys have been playing together around here for a long time.
Oh, yeah. So we're very excited that they're joining us on April 21st. We've also got Jughead's Juice is going to have drinks and snacks for people. So I understand that.
Where are they from?
They're from Manchester, so local.
Wow,
local
that's
folks,
really
cool,
good.
Very cool stuff. But I understand if you've got music and you've got food, you've got a party.
There you
we've got
go.
a party.
There you go.
It's going to be fun. We've got Silly Kids Yoga is going to have yoga classes. We're going to have the Lanham Library is going to have different story times. So there's going to be lots of fun stuff for kids, for families, and John, you might learn something. We're going to have some folks.
I try to learn something every day.
Tree is going to be a wildlife show. They're going to have a rehabilitation program talking about different animals. If you find them, what you can do about it. Youth Villages Foster Care is going to be talking to people about foster care. Friends of Short Springs is going to be talking about that gym that we have right here in Coffee County. And if you have not been, and I know you have.
Oh, yeah.
If the people at home have not been to Short Springs.
I was crawling around out there 50 some odd, 60 years ago.
Well, they've changed a lot in the last 50 years, and it's because of the Friends of Short Springs. We've built different steps and handrails, and it never really occurred to me, but every single one of those steps, every handrail, came together because a group of concerned citizens said, you know what, this can help our community. And that is a phenomenal group, great, just lovely group of people. So they're going to be gathering volunteers there, and the tree board will be there. The Lynchburg Microbe Brewery is going to be teaching people how to make worm tea, which is a fantastic product for your
worm tea.
Don't drink it. Don't drink it. It's for your plants. It should be good. It should be good. And right next to them, bring a couple of dollars because the Tullahoma Community Garden is going to be there. They're going to be selling plants.
Oh, good.
Yes, lots of plants. And while you're bringing a couple of dollars, I just found this out last night. So your group is the first people to hear about it. We have Bonnaroo tickets donated to Earth Day. Yes, we're going to be raffling off Bonnaroo tickets. So if you want to go to Bonnaroo for $5, come to Earth Day and buy a raffle ticket, and you've got a chance.
Well, and I mean, just think about that. Even if you don't know what Earth Day is and don't care what Earth Day is, go by and buy a raffle ticket because that'll help Earth Day.
Yes.
And you just might see something that, it's always funny and fun when you go somewhere where you really don't think you want to go. I mean, my wife over the last 42 years has taken me to a lot of things that I really didn't want to go to, but 98% of the time I end up really enjoying myself.
Well, I hope
because you think, oh, I don't want to do that, and then you get there and something's going on that's really fun.
Like you could win.
And you're learning. Well, but you're learning how to make worm tea.
It's going to be lots of fun. Yeah, and I've got to do a shout out to our sponsor, CFC Recycling.
Oh, well, of
the
course.
Rice family has been with us from the very beginning, very supportive of the Go Green initiative, very supportive of the Earth Day Festival. I've been kudos to them. Thank you guys very much.
Yeah, they're good folks.
Yes, the Interlocal Solid Waste Authority, ISWA, has also donated to us so that we can have some more ads in the Tullahoma News.
Wonderful.
And get the word out there. And they're also going to be there. They're going to be giving away compost bins there as well. So we're going to have a show about how to compost properly, grab a bin, and while the supplies last. And
and while we're on that subject right there, I know that that we have a good recycling program, but I think as I drive around the city and I look and I see, why doesn't that person have their recycling out? And why, we are so much better. As I discuss this with people in other counties and friends of mine that live outside of Tullahoma, across the state, they say, well, y'all are doing great, but we could do better.
We could do better. In fact, I went with our public works director and our city administrator up to Franklin to look at their compost facility up there, and they're recycling or reusing 15% of what would have been in the landfill up there. Now you think about that. What if Tullahoma took our yard waste, which is what Franklin's doing, so grass clippings, leaves, all that, just stuff from your yard. What if we took it and just turned it over 3 times a week? In 17 weeks, we've got this beautiful, rich, black compost that we could give back to the people of Tullahoma. What if we recycled, and that would put us at 50% of our waste is left out of the landfill because of composting and recycling.
Sounds like a right thing to do to me. Yeah. That way, yeah. It's good.
It is.
It's good.
It is.
Earth Day. We're good. 18 seconds. We'll get back to Earth Day. Earth Day. Earth Day. What day? What day?
April 21st, Fraser McEwen Park.
Yep.
10 to 4.
10 to 4.
Be there.
Be there. Bring $5. Maybe win a Bonnaroo ticket and learn how to make worm tea. We'll be right back after these messages.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
Tired of paying for monthly telephone service, expensive long-distance bills, and all those crazy taxes? Are you sick of spending money on telephone equipment, maintenance contracts, and service calls, all for a phone system that shackles you to 100-year-old technology and your desk? Stop it. It's time to ship your phone system to the cloud. What can the cloud do for you? Bring together remote offices, workers, and employees in the field. Make sure that you'll never miss calls by delivering them to multiple devices. Modernize faxing by allowing multiple faxes to be sent and received at once, and delivered to email. Get your voicemail messages instantly through email too, and take advantage of an endless supply of customizable features. Host My Calls can deliver the cloud. All of this technology with low upfront costs and not one penny in capital expense. It's time for a phone solution you'll truly love from Host My Calls. Call the number below.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back. We've just had a lot of great artists on our show today, and today we have representing Tullahoma Art Center, Pat Raleigh. Pat, welcome.
Thank you.
And you're, of course, a member of the Art Center, and we're always encouraging people to become members of the Art Center.
We are.
And a lot of good things are happening
there.
Oh,
it's exciting.
I know you're getting ready to open another art exhibit. So.
We are, and this exhibit is with local artist Jack Moore. And Jack and his wife, Rosalie, have been longtime residents of Tullahoma, both amazing artists, and of course Jack taught at Motlow for quite a number of years, so they are a well-known artist couple in our community.
Well, are they both exhibiting or just Jack?
No, just Jack. But Rosalie, she stays in the background, but she's quite an artist herself, yes.
Well, I'm sorry that we can't show the paintings, but
all right.
All you have to do is go to the Art Center to the opening, or during the month of April, is that correct?
Yes, yes. The opening reception and Meet the Artist, Jack and Rosalie will be there, will be Sunday, April 8th.
Which is this weekend.
Yes, it's coming up soon, from 2 to 5 o'clock, and the exhibit runs through the 28th of April. And the Art Center is open on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and of course Saturdays as well from 10 to 2. So there's quite a few opportunities, but Jack will be there Sunday.
That's great.
So.
I think that it's free if you're a member.
For members,
and
it's
if you're
free.
not a member,
non-members, it's $5.
$5. Well, you can't beat that
No,
deal
you can't.
because we need money for the center to stay open.
We do, we
and,
do.
And a lot of great things are going on there, from ballroom dance to art classes. And tell me about the type of work that Jack does, the different types of work that he does.
Absolutely. Well, what's interesting about this is 40 years of Jack's, not only his artwork, but his collections. It's a unique exhibit where Jack's artwork of acrylics and oils will be there, and of course for sale.
I went to ask that.
Yes,
Good.
everything that'll be on display will be available for sale. So
That's
there'll be a
wonderful.
number of his sculptures as well
Now,
as...
I didn't realize he did sculptures.
Oh, yes, yes.
Does he have a certain thing he does sculptures of?
Well, they're actually figures, very unique figures. And I encourage everyone to come see this because it is quite unique to see his artwork and the sculptures. And then he has a collection that he's been collecting over the years of metal retail signs.
Oh.
Yes.
That sounds like fun.
Yes, from Texaco, some of the really unique and
And does he have those
classic-
for sale?
Everything for sale.
Everything's for sale.
He's got an unusual stamp and postcard collection that, as I say, he has been working on for over 40 years, and these will all be available for sale
So
as
he
well.
is an amazing individual. Do you have any idea what he likes the best?
Well, let me just read to you. When I
Okay.
asked Jack, how would you describe your work? This is how Jack describes his work. It is a search for a balanced composition and experimenting as sincerely as possible to learn from the experience. The subject matter can be taken as serious, humorous, colorful, or as abstract forms. The experience is for the viewer to decide.
Oh, I like that.
Yes, yes.
And that's really what art is.
Yes.
It's the in the eye of the beholder, so to speak, as they
Absolutely.
say. And,
Absolutely.
I've seen some of his work, and I'm excited that he's bringing such a wide variety.
Absolutely.
He's very eclectic in everything he does, I think.
Yes.
And is his wife, does she do the sculptures and stuff like that also?
No,
or is
she
the,
did mostly. What I've seen of Rosalie's work has been acrylic, some beautiful work that's hanging in their home.
Yeah.
And she has sort of set that aside. But Jack is still at it, painting and pulling out work that
That's
he did
wonderful.
10 years ago. Going, I think I'm going to add a touch
and
here
add a
and
touch
there.
to that
Yes.
and make it different
Yes.
in a new way.
Yes.
I think that's the one thing about an artist, a musician, people that do that kind of thing. They don't breathe unless they do it.
Absolutely.
And that's what keeps you going through your life. And he's so artistic, and I encourage everybody to go to the opening. And if you can't get to the opening, well, show up some other time
Yes.
and get to the show. So that's, give me the date again.
The opening reception
is this weekend. Okay.
And Jack is excited to see some of his old students and community members, and that'll be from 2 to 5 p.m. But then the show runs through April 28th, and the center is open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday
Great.
from 1 to 5, and on Saturdays from 10 to 2 p.m.
Well, I think we've said it all. Thanks.
We have.
I hope
Thank
you'll come
you.
back.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more interesting things.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family caring for your family since 1932.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
All right, Peggy, we're back, and man, we've had them coming through here today,
I
haven't
want to
we?
remind everybody of the Celtic Festival Saturday.
That's right, Piping on the
9
Green
o'clock.
at the Celtic Cup. And then, of course, we have Lisa Maurer on the 15th.
I'm excited about that.
and
Those
then
people are so talented.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's wonderful. And then Heaven Can Wait.
Heaven Can Wait.
Civic
And then
Center.
Jack Moore's
exhibit at the Art
exhibit
Center.
at the Art Center. So.
Just don't sit home on your
No,
couch. Be
no,
great.
don't.
Get
Don't
up,
say
get
there's
out.
nothing to do. There's all kinds of stuff
lots
to
of
do.
stuff to do.
And all you have to do is watch us every week to find out what it is. Folks, thanks for being with us. We'll see you next time.